tens of thousands out of debt since 1993 and will free you from the debt trap. DebtCrisisSolutions.com legally guarantees to put an end to wage garnishment, bank levies, and liens, and you won't pay one dime to creditors. With Debt Crisis Solutions program, you'll also restore your credit history and be protected from legal action without making one more payment to creditors. DebtCrisisSolutions.com specializes in credit report restoration, preventing wage garnishment and bank levies, liens, and judgments. Doing nothing doesn't make the debt go away. Become debt-free in 90 days, guaranteed. Call Debt Crisis Solutions now for a free consultation at 718-615-0123. That's 718-615-0123. Or visit them online at DebtCrisisSolutions.com. That's DebtCrisisSolutions.com today.
With rising unemployment and an economy that continues to fail comes an increase in crime. Are you safe when you walk to your car? Are your kids safe when they go out? Everyone needs something to give that extra edge in case of an attack. You need DPS pepper spray from MrDefense.com. DPS is the strongest pepper spray on the market and is the same spray used by hundreds of law enforcement agencies from around the world. Need something more? The Stinger keychain is a great way to surprise a potential attacker. Mr. Defense carries the largest selection of stun guns, air tasers, knives, swords, batons, survival, spy, and tactical gear. Surprise your loved ones this Christmas with a gift of safety and security from MrDefense.com. Mention this ad and receive 10% off your order. Visit MrDefense.com. That's MRDefense.com or call 1-800-313-6400. That's 1-800-313-6400 today.
I've played this quite a few times, but the next segment I'm going to play and get Alan Watt's take on it. There's a bunch of video games out in the last decade, like Shattered Union. And in some of these games, your job, you work for the Illuminati, for the world government. You hunt down and kill militias. You torture militia members to death. In one game, when you get to the final level, you get into a safe, and you at the top of the Illuminati, and one of my videos, Police State 2000, is the great secret inside of the safe. I don't know why the establishment does that or why they keep sticking my voice or my rants in video games and in some cases without my permission. And then one time they went to the network and got the rights, I think for like $300 to put me in one. But the point is, we'll get Alan's take on why that's happening. Right now, let's go back to the calls. Brian in Canada, you're on the air with Alan Watt.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Pretty good.
I'd like to thank you, Alex. I know what you said before, but even though I was aware like a deer that knew it was hunting season, it wasn't until you led me in the right direction in 2005 that I started to make some sense of my life. Today I was calling me. I did want to talk about my Prime Minister puppet and cell phones and things like that, but I noticed that there's a lie being propounded out there, and there's a chance that even our side of truthers might buy into that lie. And that lie would be that this is the first time that there's a one world power. I'm getting kind of tired of reminding people and asking them if they've ever heard of a little place called Babel and a little guy called Nimrod, because that was actually the first global world power. And at that time, he had one language. He probably had everybody compartmentalized the way they do it now, too, but there was only one language. And when God came down and messed them up, well, all the different languages went off with all their little pieces of what to do.
Yeah, that story is of the system breaking apart, that global empire, and that and then the Romans, and then the Roman Catholic Church, and the British Empire.
Believe that this is what's led us to this. He had to go out across the world to get back all of his little recipe books of how to get back this one world power. And that's why he's on this breakneck speed to get it done now, because he's never been so close as he's been now.
All right, let me get Alan's take on that because he's our guest. Go ahead, Alan Watt.
The symbol of Nimrod is world power. Nimrod is also the same as the Satan, really, in the ancient literature. And his wife as well, as being the ultimate rebels who swore that they would rise higher than all the gods and dominate the universe, basically. So it's the same old power elite idea of the the psychopath who's a megalomaniac and who truly believes that he has the right to dominate the whole planet.
And it's not just dominate creation and the fellow humans. They state that they want to make war on the heavens. They want to become gods. And whether you believe in that or not, they do. And my parents were just over in Germany last year, and they took back all this video and showed me of where the Germans, even during World War II, built a big armored dome over Ishtar's Gate and the seat of Satan from where Babylon was in Iraq, and that Hitler believed he was invincible because he had the seat of Satan.
Yes, that is true. Hitler did have his own special mediums. He was into the New Age. He was a theosophist. Theosophy is the same philosophy as the elite all believe in. Rockefeller himself sponsored the main magazine for the Lucis Trust. They used to call it the Lucifer Trust. And Lucifer to them, of course, is the epitome of the ideal intellectualized Superman to come. They believe they're the progenitors of the Supermen to come.
But they have to destroy this creation to build their new creation. Finishing up, caller, Brian in Canada, with your point about your puppet, Stephen Harper, suspending Parliament with the Queen twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that too, even though he suspends Parliament, he still has dictatorial powers during that period, apparently. We didn't know that either.
And we're seeing this all over the world. Anything else, Brian?
Yeah, I was just saying that drove me nuts up here because he even exposed himself in front of all of us. I was here the first few days that he called the election. The American market was crashing every day, and the news would start to pressure him, like, what about this? And the first few days he got very mad and adamant and said, Canada is not the United States and we're not going to suffer the same thing as them. And then 4 days later, when our economists started coming out saying, yes, Mr. Harper, we are going to suffer, then he stood in front of the news and he stated that they knew about this 15 months ago and started taking measures.
Well, I mean,
so right there, he exposed himself.
Alan, why is he in your papers today saying there's going to be a depression?
Well, he waits for his lines. He's a bit behind the times at times. He waits for his lines being sent to him from London. You understand that Canada is still part of the British Commonwealth. Not one law gets passed in Canada without the Queen's signature, so even though they call it democracy. So he waits for his orders, and they shift accordingly, according to the mood of the people. So he does what he's told. He's a puppet, for sure. Yeah.
All right, Brian, thanks for the call. More calls straight ahead, and this Shattered Union clip when I come out of break. Not just the audio now. If you're watching at PrisonPlanet.tv, you can see it. We're live at PrisonPlanet.tv right now. Go over there and check it out.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
The holidays are right around the corner. The crowds, the countless hours in traffic, finding a parking spot just to buy a gift you're worried they might not like anyway. How about surprising your loved ones with a gift they can use every day of the year? Give the gift of safety with security products from Pepperspray.com. Pepperspray.com carries the largest assortment of pepper spray and other personal safety devices on the web for your spouse, your children, your coworkers, and more. When you purchase the perfect gift from Pepperspray.com, you'll receive 10% off just by using the coupon code GCN. What better way to say Merry Christmas than giving the priceless gift of safety and security from Pepperspray.com? Shop now at Pepperspray.com or call 1-800-908-9988. That's 1-800-908-9988. Pepperspray.com wishes you and yours a safe and happy holiday season.
A day unlike any other in the long course of American history, a terrorist act of war against this country.
The enemy struck America on September 11th. But who is the enemy?
Bin Laden.
This is his MO.
We have to look to the Middle East. We have to look to Osama bin Laden.
Fabled Enemies is the first 9/11 film to take a close look at the terrorist ties to intelligence networks inside the United States.
Some U.S. investigators believe that there are Israelis again very much engaged in spying in and on the U.S.
I'm aware that some Israeli citizens have been detained.
Bin Laden's connections to the CIA, the hijackers' ties to the FBI, the Saudi Arabian connection, the Israeli intelligence network, warnings and war games, the shadow government, and much, much more. Fabled Enemies. Get the DVD at Infowars.com or see it in super high quality, along with hundreds of other titles at PrisonPlanet.tv.
Either you are with us or you are with the terrorists.
With food prices soaring to all-time highs, as the dollar continues to fall in value, what can you and your family do to guarantee that fresh, nutritious vegetables will